Cars and quesadillas.
Cars and quesadillas, yeah. We're doing that in the morning. Take you down a cool trail that I've got, or we've got, or the area's got. All right. Bye.
I'm worth more.
Am I worth more? Yeah.
I'm worth a whole lot more.
You know what? You're right. At GiveMeTheVin.com, you are worth more, and your car's worth more. And we want to pay more at Give Me the VIN, because good cars are worth more, and so are you.
And the IU fans making it difficult for more in Oregon right out of the gate. De'Aaron Hill Jr. is the running back. The quick pass is intercepted. It's going to be run in for an Indiana touchdown. D'Angelo Pons on the first play of the game.
ESPN Radio 97.5, 92. Nope. I cannot believe I just did that. 97.9 HD2 as Sean shakes his head.
Don't drive people away from the sun.
Yeah. He shakes his head.
Just say other radio stations.
Just other, yeah. 6:10 a.m. I think we are 7:90 a.m. 97.9 The Box. Welcome in. ESPN Radio 97.5 FM, and that's it. Only damn it. I am Brian McDonald, joined by Cam Smith, Sean Mapes, and John Belmer behind the glass. You can find us all on X. I'm at Sacked by BMAC. Sean is at Sean A. Mapes. Cam is at Clutch City Cam, and Johnny is at Third Coast John. If you want to join into the show, talk about college football playoffs, NFL playoffs, Texans. Maybe you have a Mount Rushmore +1 for us. Who knows? Hit us up on the HRMP listener line. Either call or text 713-780-3776. But right now, starting off talking about the college football playoffs, because for two completely different reasons, two very significant nights over the last two nights in these college football playoff semifinals. Thank you to ESPN and Sean McDonough on the call there of the pick six that started off the Indiana-Oregon game last night. But let's start off with what happened most recently, guys. Indiana absolutely dog walks Oregon. I mean, I was on the Indiana -3 side. I did not think it was going to be Indiana -1,000 or whatever it ended up being. I think it was, 59-15? Was that the final?
No, it was 55.
55-15?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously much more than the -3 that the game.
56-22.
Okay, so they picked up an extra that's right. They picked up a touchdown to that third string tight end.
Yeah, and they all hugged him.
They all hugged him. It was I don't know, it was kind of lame, but I get it. But I guess let's start here, Sean, because there's obviously not much drama in what happened on the field with Indiana and Oregon, because as soon as Dante Moore throws that pick six, which honestly I came out to that game kind of questioning Dante Moore as a prospect, because on that pick six and they pointed it out in the broadcast. I mean, the corner is sitting with outside leverage, and Dante Moore quick threw an out-breaking route to a corner, sitting and staring at him with outside leverage. It was a bizarre decision. But that game and how dominant it was, but not only that one, how dominant Indiana was against Alabama as well, Sean, had them making 2019 LSU comparisons. What do you think of that comparison? Obviously doing it in much different ways, because Joe Burrow threw 60 touchdown passes with Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson in tow. But
yeah, I mean, part of the comparison doesn't really work. Like I want to give Indiana credit, but just that comparison doesn't work, because with NIL and stuff, we've seen it that the talent's more spread out. In 2019, the talent was not spread out.
No, it wasn't.
So there's a little bit of hey, you're dog walking all these teams that are, have their talent spread out. Where 2019 LSU was dog walking a bunch of teams that were very highly concentrated in talent. So it's even the close games that they played was Alabama once against Tua, and the 9 great receivers that they had, the Waddle, Devontae Smith, all these guys that they had on their team. And, it's a little bit different than needing a borderline miracle to beat this year's Penn State. That's where it's the Indiana thing kind of runs out of steam. It's these teams aren't as good as, or they're not as good. They're just, the talent isn't as concentrated in a handful of teams.
I guess my only pushback to that would be, I mean, you're completely right that the talent's way more spread out. No denying that. But I know they pointed this out in the broadcast last night. Like, Oregon's roster in its makeup has, I believe they said 55 former 5 or 4-star players. The other two playoff teams that were still alive in this round, besides Indiana, were all over 40. Indiana had 8.
Yeah.
So, like, I get the fact that Indiana was at that level of a disparity, just, for what these players were thought of coming out of high school, to then go into these college playoff games and not just win, but win in dominant fashion, maybe even more dominant, at least last night, than some of LSU's wins, I think kind of makes me put them in a higher tier as far as some of the great teams we've seen recently, Cam.
Yeah, I mean, going back to like the whole LSU thing, I think it's just, I know it's only been what, six years?
Yeah,
but
2019.
it's still such a complete
7 years.
College.
Oh,
God.
man, we were 3 minutes into the show.
We're not doing that this week, Sean.
Look,
We're not
man,
doing
I
it.
just
That's
got
my
back
last
from
one.
Christmas break with these kids. That's not what I want to hear upon my return. But no, it's just like even in that small span, college football is completely different now. Like y'all said, like the whole like recruiting process and everything. So like it's just, I don't know what makes Indiana great. Like
Signetti.
but it's just like, it's still more like, it's not just coaching. It's just like they do everything really well,
Yeah,
and they don't do anything bad.
Well, that is coaching, though, is it not?
No,
Yeah,
true.
they're basically the Nick Saban Alabama teams, except without 5 stars, with very, very well scouted.
They all just came together, Sean.
Come together.
They came
as a
together.
unit. The Hoggies could have done without the Hoggies.
They just give you like those dark horse vibes that you see in like college basketball, like those years of like Wichita State.
Yeah,
like,
they're like
2 stars, but
Yeah.
they're going to the tournament. They're going deep, like obviously not each year because this is their first time, but it's just like there's just some sort of aura around them that just keeps elevating them and elevating. Because yeah, like you said, like I thought Oregon was going to win this game, but I thought it was going to be close. No, I had no expectation that Indiana was going to win by 30 points.
No,
like
I mean,
none whatsoever.
I mean, even as someone who picked Indiana the game, I thought it was going to be like a 27-20 type game. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like what ended up happening yesterday was crazy. So going over to the other college football semifinal with Miami getting the not last second, but close to last second touchdown run from Carson Beck to knock out Ole Miss. And in Trinidad Chambliss' career, because the NCAA gave him the middle finger soon thereafter and denied him his extra year.
Yeah, people
Thank
are
you,
tired
Johnny.
of seeing college football players
Which
6 or 7 years into the league. Like,
don't
move
see,
on, bro.
You did that. You're
Move on.
responsible for that one, Cam.
Ah,
You're responsible
no.
for that one. Honestly, I was on the. I almost never say this. Mark it down. I was on the NCAA side. Like he didn't need another year. Like you're
Yeah,
already,
me
you're,
either.
you're already
Yeah,
in college that
no.
long. I get why he did it because he's probably not a pro quarterback. I said with high inflection in my voice, but you know what?
Upper
neither here nor
register?
there.
yeah, but one more year, adding another year to your age is not going to elevate your draft process.
Well,
the
if
following
he
year.
did the same
Like,
thing again, though, it may make them believe more.
It's not even that. It is just the fact that he'll get paid $5 million to be quarterback
That's-
next year
yes.
in one scenario where he's a college football
Yes,
quarterback, not an
100%.
NFL quarterback.
True.
100%.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why he wanted to come back. But I don't know what you guys thought about this Miami Ole Miss game. I thought Miami could have won that game by 20.
Yes.
Not that they would have done anything close to what Indiana did last night, but they had so many drop picks. It was like I was playing college football 26. It felt like at times. Two of the drop picks came on the same possession, but I know 2 of the drop picks were right before Ole Miss field goals, so that's 6 points there. And on one of the drives, the drive where they dropped 2 picks, the first of the 2 was just a throw out to the flat that would have been an easy pick 6, like a walk. So we're talking a 13-point swing. We're really not even having to think hard. So that really felt like a game that was much more dominated by Miami than the score would indicate, with Carson Beck having to run one in under 30 seconds to go to win the game. But yeah, Miami looked really good and made enough mistakes to keep it close, Sean. But Miami's been really impressive.
Yeah, they have been really impressive. I mean, really, the only time that Ole Miss stopped them was when they would commit turnovers, or or if they would get penalized early in the down.
Yeah, they had a lot of
so they're
penalties in the
starting at
game.
1st and 15,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, okay, now on 3rd down, now it's 3rd and 7. Now they have to throw it, and really in the first half especially, the downfield passing game from Carson Beck just like was not there at all. It's like honestly on 3rd and 7, I'll be like, just run it again. You have a better chance at getting
Fletcher was killing them.
7
Yeah.
on the ground than through the air. So yeah, I would just say in general, for Miami, hope you got the clunker out of the way because that would not work against
So
Indiana. That will not work.
Like
If they play like
honestly,
how they played on Thursday against Indiana next Monday,
another result like last
we're
night.
talking another 55-15.
I don't know how. Look, I'm trying to find reasons to why Miami can win this game, and I guess it's because their pass rush. Ruben Bain and Mesidor kick ass, but Ole Miss found a way to take them out of the game with the quick throws, and I'm sure Indiana will see that and find a way to do something similar. But whether it be like the Malley Cat formations, just running it up the gut with Fletcher, like I don't see any of that stuff working against Indiana. And then it turns into a situation where Carson Beck gets pressured and he's behind the chains. We've seen how that plays out. I think Indiana wins this one comfortably.
Comfortably, huh?
Yeah, I'll say.
I think the line.
3 scores.
Oh,
okay, so that's
my
what
God.
The line is I think 8, right?
That's
the last I saw.
That's pretty crazy.
Checking. 1 second.
Yeah,
7.5.
7.5. So what do you think of this matchup, Cam?
This is crazy. I mean, I think Miami played a little better than y'all.
In the second
No,
half,
we- no,
in the
we
second
said
half,
they played-
in the second half, they
I
definitely.
mean, I
played
said they
better.
dominated the game. That was only close because they kept dropping picks.
True, and then that Carson Beck pick in the second half, the tip one, like obviously that's
Yeah,
not that just happened.
yeah.
That's
But
football, ladies and gentlemen.
it just I mean, Indiana's not going to turn the ball over, and then if you like,
That's the thing.
Well,
that's the
we
thing.
said
Like,
that Fernando Mendoza almost booted one, but his center happened to fall on it.
Yeah.
When on that one of those long runs he had, he just kind of did like a spin in the middle of the field, and it got knocked out of his hands. But his center luckily was falling behind him and picked it up.
it's just Indiana has played Indiana football every single game of the year, and I don't see why it's going to stop
Yeah,
against Miami. I mean, I think it's going to be closer than what BMAC's saying, 3 scores, but how do you not ride this Hoosier like wave of success right now? Like, and I think deep down, I want to see Indiana win because they've been so trashed the last 100 years in football. And
Most
it's
losses in FBS history.
Yeah,
I think their
like-
last outright Big Ten title was in the 40s. I think is what I saw.
It was actually 1967.
Okay, well, it feels like the 40s. It feels like, oh no.
I almost said it was in-
I hate that Sean had to be the one to say the year.
No, do you know their last bowl win before the Rose Bowl?
It was like 89, right?
It was 91.
91, close.
Last time they won a bowl game was
Yeah,
1991.
just the bowl game, not a college football
bowl
playoff
game.
game. Like a bowl game. Like, I mean, Sean, you weren't alive. You said it was 1991.
Yes.
I think Joe George was not alive. Like that's how long ago it's been.
You were already
35
in
years
radio, right, B-Mac?
Yeah, exactly. I already had a kid. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Wait,
He had a
No,
pension.
oh, I was like, wait, hold on.
Can't believe that for a
let
second.
me run this
Damn,
math
you
Yeah,
back.
you think BMAC has a child
God,
older than I
How
am?
old do you think I am? Jeez, come on, man.
And break.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. You know what? Because of that, Cam's malfeasance, we are going to go to break.
But isn't it so crazy how
Well, maybe not.
Carson Beck goes from all the success in Georgia and then goes to Miami, and here he's back in the national championship? Like,
I don't think he made the national championship as a starter at Georgia because he got hurt in his second year.
No, but
and
I'm
the
saying,
year
like-
before that they didn't make the they didn't make the final. They didn't make the playoffs the year before.
but
that.
just like I'm talking, just like in general, all the success he had at Georgia,
They
and
were
then
like
it's just like
27-2 with him as a starter.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then he up and goes to Miami like randomly because of his now ex girl, and now here he is
well,
sitting
and
in
I
the
think he was
championship.
also being forced out because of Gunnar Stockton.
Yeah, he was kind of being gently
Kind of like what
nudged.
happened with Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning. Like Quinn didn't have to go, but he wasn't going to play.
Yeah,
they
Dylan
yeah.
Gabriel and Jackson Arnold. It happens a lot. Where it's just
Yeah,
Will Howard and Avery Johnson. and
Some
just-
of those got right. Some of those were not.
I'm ready to see all the former like Miami star football players like
That is the game.
there's
within
going
the
to
game.
be so, and then there's going to be like who from Indiana?
Antoine Randall,
That would be a funny.
Kyle Schwarber.
That would be a funny
Okay.
picture. Like, let's get all the Miami guys. All right, Oh.
Yeah.
Antoine Randall
Just the
Elk.
Miami guys. Okay, just the Miami guys.
Cody Zeller.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
having to pull out basketball
We
stars
would
now.
definitely have to pull out basketball guys.
I was
Their
just
last
referring to
bowl win
football.
was 1991. I'm gonna have to pull from other sports to fill out the Indiana celebrity row. Mark
Oh.
Cuban.
Mark Cuban went to Indiana?
Oh yeah, he was on the field with the T-shirt after the game.
I didn't know that.
I didn't notice that
He
at
was
all.
taking a picture with D'Angelo Pons.
Who also got an offensive touch in that game. Little
did.
two-way
I mean,
player. Maybe. I hope that shows up in his NFL draft profile.
Indiana of all teams is just being
They
like,
were
I
just
don't know.
they were just messing around at
let's
some
put
point.
him at-
Let's throw it to the cornerback.
Let's have a gadget play for a corner. Who cares?
All right, on the other side of the break, a little more college football. We're going to talk about some of this transfer portal madness with the quarterback movement, winners and losers from that quarterback movement. And after that, of course, we'll get into the Texans with their playoff game against the Steelers coming up on Monday. That when the bullpen returns, ESPN Radio 97.5 and 97.9 HD2.
This is the Bullpen.
On ESPN 97.5 and the ESPN Houston app.
Live from the Huntington Bank Studios, here are the producers of ESPN 97.5.
All right, welcome back into ESPN 97.5 and 97.9 HD2. Brian McDonald, Cam Smith, Sean Mapes, and John Belmer behind the glass with you here until 2 o'clock. I almost morphed you guys into one person. Okay. Sean Belmer.
Or the Belmer boys here.
The Belmer boys. Sean Belmer, John Belmer, you know him.
Like a tag team wrestling match.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'd rather be John Mapes.
John Mapes? Okay, that's fine. I mean,
You don't want to be Sean John.
No, you
that's
do not.
That's
No.
a good call, Cam.
No, you do not.
No.
Other tag team names for Sean Mapes and John Belmer, hit us up on
Or
the
any
HRP.
combination of the four of us.
Hit us up on the HRP listen line.
Mac
Call
and
or
Mapes.
text. There we go. 713-780-3776. Again, call or text HRP listen line. So, carrying over some of this college football before we get into the Texans next segment, and then of course Mount Rushmore plus one at 1:30. So stay tuned for that. On until 2 o'clock when Aggies basketball will take the air. A lot of the conversation coming out of these playoffs, with obviously one game to go, guys, has been the SEC washed. Three straight title games. They've not even had a participant in, much less a winner. Looking like the odds-on favorite, obviously, Big Ten to have a third straight national champion. Not only a third straight national champion, but not just one team carrying it, because it'd be a third straight different team winning the national title. I think this talk of SEC watch is a little ridiculous, but what do you make of this conversation that is making its way around college football talking points with the SEC and its I guess downfall as compared to the Big Ten, Sean?
I mean, it definitely is like taking a step back. It goes back to what we started the show with, talking about 2019 LSU, where it's just like SEC teams, you should just have like three, like would go 3 deep with 5 stars, and like every position was just, and guys couldn't transfer out, and they just stayed and got developed by Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, whoever. And now it's like, well, do I want to be the backup at Georgia, or do I want to start for another team? And so just the talent just kind of gets more spread out. I mean, you see it in the recruiting rankings where, do you know who's number 2 in the recruiting rankings right now?
Last I looked, Texas was number 1. I don't know who number 2 is.
It is USC, coming off an 8-4 season.
Interesting.
with
Interesting.
a coach on the hot seat.
You would think USC should be able to not just to take it an extra step. Like USC should be able to recruit. They're in Southern California, like outside of Texas and Florida. But
in the old world, on a coach on the hot seat, after going 8-4 and losing to TCU in the bowl game, it's like that is not the recipe for we're just
kicking ass and recruiting.
The machine keeps rolling. So it is just like a little bit of a new world. I think some of it is that the best teams in the SEC the last 3 years haven't really been matched up with who has the best quarterback in the SEC. It's just always been a little bit off, or even just the best quarterback in the country. Like, I know 2024, the SEC, like, who was the best quarterback in the SEC that year?
Yeah, I mean, like,
was it Carson Beck? Was it Quinn Ewers? Like,
at least the last 2 years, the last remaining SEC team this year was quarterbacked by Trinidad Chambliss. The year before it was quarterbacked by Quinn Ewers. Like,
the team who won it started Carson Beck, pushed him out, and had Stetson, or not Stetson, but Gunnar Stockton, and then that team also won the SEC this year. You know,
yeah.
So there's a little bit of just the quarterback position. I mean, the number 1 pick in this year's draft, it's going to be Fernando Mendoza.
And if it's not him, it's Dante Moore. Either way, not an SEC quarterback.
So I think that's some of it is like small sample size, like.
That's kind of, and Cam, I'm interested to hear what you think about this, but that's kind of where I am at. Like, I do think the number one reason that the SEC's dead, or whatever these people like to say about it, is what you mentioned, Sean, with, well, the talent's just way more spread out. Instead of being a backup for Auburn or Alabama, I can go start for a team in the ACC or the Big 12,
or you could start for another SEC team.
Right? Yeah.
And so just and
you can move every single year till you find that spot. So I think that's naturally going to spread out the talent to a point where there's not as many dominant teams as in, like, obviously most of those dominant teams in the past or in the SEC. I also think this is, like you said, Sean, kind of just a small sample size. Like, it's just the ebb and flow of college football. Like, there will be a period of time where one conference is dominant, like back in the 90s, Florida State and Miami were really dominant, and then both of them fell off, for a little while. Nebraska was dominant, and they fell off. Like, that's kind of what I think of this, Cam. Like, I don't necessarily think of this as, well, the Big Ten's now clearly just a way better conference, and SEC is second tier. It's just like, this is just the back and forth, the ebb and flow naturally that happens in college football.
Yeah, I mean, because SEC still had 5 teams in the top 10 and 7 in the top 14. Yeah. So, like, I'm definitely not going to sit here and say, like, the SEC has lost. Like, it's like I still think it's the top conference, but because of everything that you can do with transfer and NIL, it just makes the playing field a little more level. But even to the point of, like, oh, I can transfer out of the SEC and go play and actually get some starting time in another conference, that just tells me that the SEC is still the top conference,
top brand,
because
at least, because the kids are going there, they're just then leaving.
Yeah, you're leaving to go play for a lesser team just to get playing time. So, like, for me, that just solidifies that the SEC is still, like, the top dog. It's just they're not as far above the competition as they used to be, like, in years past. But I still have them above the big.
I mean, it'd be hard to say the Big Ten's not having the best run. I mean, 3 straight now. I mean, I'm expecting 3 straight now.
Plus, the SEC, they beat each other up. So by the time that they get, I mean.
Yeah, but you couldn't say the same thing about the Big Ten. Like, I don't know if I like that argument a whole lot. Like, the Big Ten, I get it. The bottom of the Big Ten is probably worse than the bottom of the SEC, but top and middle, I think the Big Ten beats itself. I mean, you had games against, Indiana had to play Oregon earlier in the year. Like, Oregon took a loss against the number 1 team in the nation. That was their only loss coming into last night. So, like, I do think that's that exists in the Big Ten as well.
Yeah, I don't think that they don't beat each other up. I just think it's the top teams in the Big Ten beat each other up, but it's like the whole SEC. It's just like obviously like the bottom feeders, you don't expect them to put up a good game, but it's just, I still feel like it's almost any given Sunday. Like in the SEC,
Yeah,
anybody can beat anybody in the SEC, but I think in the Big Ten, it's just like, okay, you have these top 4 teams, and like that's it.
Arkansas went like 2-10 and had something like 7 one-score losses or something
Yeah.
like that, where it's just like the Arkansas team is one of the best 2-10 teams ever.
I mean, South Carolina had a 30-point lead at A&M.
Yeah,
And then gave it away,
Yep.
but they had a 30-point lead at A&M.
I think there is just more. It's just more spread out, and when it's more spread out, and you also add in the fact that it's the first 2 years or the last 2 years of this streak of 3, it's been the 12-team playoff, and so in past years, like it would just been Indiana versus Georgia in the national championship game. You know,
Yeah.
like it would just been, or
I mean, it would have been a 4-team playoff.
yeah, or the
but
4-team playoff. It would have been Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas Tech.
yeah.
Now, if we keep seeing like these non-SEC teams keep winning and making the title game with all that you can do with the transfer portal, yeah, maybe in a couple years we're talking something totally different.
Yeah.
But I think as
Yeah.
of now, it's still
I think honestly, I think Sean was right with maybe the biggest separator in recent years. It's just been the SEC best teams that are making the playoffs haven't had the best quarterbacks.
No,
And once they
'cause-
get into the playoffs against the best
Yeah.
teams from these other conferences who do happen to have great quarterbacks,
about-
it's
just like going backwards. You had the back-to-back Georgia championships with Stetson Bennett. That kind of started the like, really, this guy at quarterback?
Yeah.
Because before that, it was 2020. It was Mac Jones, who like, no one's like, oh my God, it's Mac Jones, but he was a top 10 pick in the NFL and
Yeah.
made the playoffs as a rookie
I mean,
quarterback.
hell, the Niners were close to taking him third.
Yeah, and then you go backwards. Joe Burrow, it's Tua and Hurts, it's Deshaun Watson, it's Trevor Lawrence. Like, it used to be required that you have like not just a good quarterback, a good college quarterback, but like a 1-1 type quarterback, or a like, Jalen Hurts was a second round pick and he got benched for Tua. Like
He was the first round pick. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It used to be where, there's a stretch there where you have to have an awesome quarterback to, that's a 5-year stretch I just rattled off of. Like, you have to have an awesome quarterback to win a national championship. Now it's Will Howard. It's
9.
It's JJ McCarthy.
He was still a first round pick,
Yes.
unfortunately.
And now, so, that just goes that, like, when you're talking about national championships, like teams that win the national championship, you're talking about one team every year. So there's going to be a lot of weird, like, oh, every time it has to be XYZ. And then you go on a stretch where it doesn't match that description. And so we just flip the
argument.
requirements.
narrative.
Sure.
Yeah.
So quickly, in the couple minutes we have left, I'm interested in, and I put some of this in the rundowns just so you don't have to look and to remember all these names with all the constant movement going around the transfer portal, specifically with these quarterbacks. But when you're looking at this quarterback movement in college football, Sean, give me a winner and a loser from what we've seen so far. Now, obviously, some names haven't locked in. Sam Levin, I know he's visited LSU. I think
Visited LSU,
visited
Tennessee.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
I think at one point, although Kentucky got another quarterback already. Dylan Raiola still hasn't signed yet, and Bo. I'm always going to butcher this name. Bo Prabula. Did I actually
Nailed
get
it.
it? Okay. He from Missouri also hasn't signed yet. But give me a winner and loser so far from the quarterback transfer portal.
Oklahoma State.
Winner?
Getting Drew Mestemaker.
Yeah, that's a winner.
That's a win. I thought,
Especially in the Big 12 with his coach there too.
and his, I think, top 2 receivers or 2 of the top 3 receivers. The running back came with, like,
yeah,
they
it's kind of similar to what happened when Cignetti left JMU and went to Indiana and
Yeah.
brought half his team with him.
Yeah, so I mean, to me, I was almost wondering if Mestemaker had like played himself into he might be the Texas Tech quarterback or LSU quarterback. He's like, you know what? Thank you, Eric Morris. Thank you, Coach, for all you've done for me. But I think I can take my talents elsewhere and maybe explore some money making opportunities, for Lane Kiffin instead. But the fact that he went with his coach, I think that's like a clear winner of like the best quarterback in the transfer portal goes to Oklahoma State, a team that's finished last in the Big 12. What, 2 of the last 3 years or back-to-back years, something like that.
Well, not back-to-back years because the year before they went to the title game against Texas.
Yeah,
Conference title game.
24 and 25.
Yeah. I think my winner is Josh Hoover getting to take the Indiana job. I mean, he's obviously been successful at TCU, but seeing what happened for Fernando Mendoza going from okay quarterback at Cal for 3 years, and all of a sudden he's going to be the first quarterback in the draft. Josh Hoover getting that chance to go start for Cignetti next year, because there was some talk of that possibly being Sorsby to Indiana, because he started at Indiana, I believe. But he obviously goes to Texas Tech now. Hoover takes that job for the Hoosiers. I think Hoover's a winner.
And there's a little bit of just like, if Signetti thinks he's good,
yeah,
got to be good.
There definitely is a part of that. Who is your winner, Cam?
I mean, I liked Hoover, but if we're gonna go like each pick a different one, I'll probably go Rocco from Iowa State. I'm not saying that it's the best move for him, but I think Penn State is winning in this situation by getting him from Iowa State.
They're basically importing the Iowa State roster on top of a Penn State roster.
Yeah.
Is going to lose some guys to the draft, but for the most part, it's better than the other guys at Iowa State. So they're probably going to be pretty good next year.
I mean, I think the obvious loser here is Dylan Raiola. He decides to, I mean, someone put out the graphic. I wish I remember all the names, because part of it went back to high school, so whatever. But this is like, it's 7 years, 7 different teams Dylan Raiola's played for. Like, apparently he moved around in high school a bunch. Committed, or like soft committed a few colleges, went there, left, and Nebraska wasn't his first team. I think Party went there because they wear red. I don't know. We'll see. That's, it's Patrick Mahomes Jr. sort of stuff. But him still being left without a team feels like a massive loser in this quarterback cycle.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely.
Yeah, you're a free agent. Kind of sucks. But I also, speaking of multiple teams,
you guys have another one?
DJ Lagway.
Yeah, that was the other one I was toying with.
What is this? Is his fifth different college team? Fourth or fifth?
I didn't think so. No, he committed to Florida. Yeah.
But after Florida, he went somewhere else.
No, this is just the second.
All right. Well, then I must
You're
be thinking
of someone else.
I'm thinking of somebody else who is playing on like their fourth or fifth team.
Well, Dylan Raiola is like that. Well, at least
he
committed.
played for Nebraska for 2 years.
Yeah, he played for Nebraska 2 years, but there's a bunch of like soft commitments that he broke and moving around before that. But yeah, I'm not sure who you're thinking about there.
I'll have to research it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Finley?
No.
TJ Finley's one of those 7-year guys. That
is he?
For a different
Yeah.
guy.
Get out of here already, guy.
I hate the 7-year player things. I'm not even gonna say the other number to give you a chance to make the motion.
Like, I get it.
They don't all play for 7 years. Some of them play for less.
And yes, and some of them
not doing it.
It's valid if like you have like, because we've seen some players have like,
well, it worked out for Tyler Shock.
Catastrophe, like 2 or 3 like terrible injuries that like in their season. So like that I can understand. But some of these guys that are just like moving around just to like move around, it's just like, dude.
Well, I mean, it's kind of what DJ Lagway did. Like, the reason he reportedly left was just like, hey, you're gonna have to compete for the job, and he's like, out.
Yeah, like.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. Like, I lost, not to be all super football hardo, but I lost a little bit of respect for Lagway there to run from the competition. I mean,
what's he gonna do with that?
It's a little soft. Like, okay, you're supposed to be the guy, compete for the job.
Well, what's DJ Lagway gonna do without Brian McDonald's respect?
I know. Look, it's going to be
break.
devastating to him. I'm sure the Lagway family's listening. They're from the area, so my apologies to Mr. and Mrs. Lagway. But we must move on, because the Houston Texans facing the Steelers on Monday night. We'll talk about that when the bullpen returns. ESPN Radio 97.5 and 97.9 HD2.
This is the Bullpen.
On ESPN 97.5 and the ESPN Houston app.
Live from the Huntington Bank Studios, here are the producers of ESPN 97.5.
ESPN 97.5 and 97.9 HD2, Brian McDonald, Cam Smith, Sean Belmer, and John Mapes with you here on the Bullpen until 2 o'clock, leading into the Aggies basketball. If you missed the last segment, inside joke there, I guess. But we do need tag team names for Mapes and Belmer. If you want to text those into the HRMP listener line, 713-780-3776. You can also call in. Phone line's wide open if you want to talk Texans or college football playoffs, anything else you have in your mind, just hit us up and talk to Johnny, and Johnny will put you on air with us. But right now we're talking Texans because another playoff game in the wild card round, only this time not an AFC South champion. For the first time ever, they're a wild card champion.
How the mighty have fallen.
Drake McClain will put a banner up for that back in the day. Wild card champions. No, he legit did. It's up. Well, it's
outside now.
It's out, because they moved it to the perimeter instead of the glass. Yeah.
Luckily, they've won enough that the only ones up in left field are AL champions and World Series champions.
There was a day when wild card champion hung from the rafters. Yes, it was. I don't know if it was.
Hey, a champion is a champion.
I guess.
I don't think wild card.
I don't think wild card. Yeah, I can't.
Although
I can't
back in the day,
do you not have to win a wild card spot?
No, back when Drake McClain owned the Astros, it was.
You know what, Cam? I just lost all respect for you.
Look, I'm not saying that this is some like
zero.
I'm not saying this is some sort of like participation trophy type thing, but like
it is a participation trophy.
What's
worse, the wild card champion that Drake McClain hung up at Minute Maid Park, or the Colts AFC runner-up banner that Jim Irsay hung up?
That's by far the worst.
At least they got further. They were at least in the AFC Championship game, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Texans. Oof. Or no, wild card.
They're both terrible.
They're both terrible. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about the Texans. So, this question came up on Friday with Jeremy and Joe. I thought I'd hit it around with you guys, see what you think of it, because I think there's an argument for this year, but part of me wants to nitpick and name something different. And I'll explain that as the conversation goes on. But I think some people now believe going into this game against the Steelers on Monday night, not so much because the Texans have their most talented roster that they've had in their franchise history. I think, other than the defense, which, I guess half the team, but certainly offensively, they don't have their most talented roster. Like, there's no Aaron Foster, there's no Andre Johnson, there's no Hopkins.
And even the 2012 team, it's not like they had bums on defense. They
had Brian Cushing,
a good defensive team.
Brian Cushing and J.J. Watt and a bunch of other Jonathan Joseph. But it's not so much because of the talent of the roster. It's more so the path that doesn't include a Peyton Manning. It doesn't include a Tom Brady. And just this year, it doesn't include Lamar Jackson. It doesn't include Patrick Mahomes. It might not even include Josh Allen because he's on the road in his first round, and he might get knocked out before the Texans would even have to face them. So because of that, Cam, would you agree that this year is the Texans' best chance so far in their entire team history, going back to 2002, to win a Super Bowl?
Man.
Or no, let's backtrack because the NFC is different with the path. Let's just make a Super Bowl.
Man, that's a really good question.
Thank you.
Because I
good job,
you're
Jeremy.
welcome. It obviously what y'all were talking about, the roster in totality is not as, I think, as great as some of those years in the past. But I think the path, because of the names that you just listed that are not in it, makes it easier for them to get to the AFC Championship.
Look at the other AFC quarterbacks. Drake May is going to win MVP, I think. It could be Stafford. But outside of Drake May, Josh Allen might not get out of the side of the first round. Then you got Trevor Lawrence. I know he's playing well, but, you're not really scared of him a whole lot. Bo Nix. They need a walk-off field goal to win here with Davis Mills playing most of the game. So you look at the rest of that quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, who they face on Monday night. No disrespect to Justin Herbert, but he's without his 2 starting tackles. There's just not they can't get past this guy in their way, Sean.
Yeah, and if that's all it takes, then it was way harder when Tom Brady was the 1 seed every year. Like, it was just way harder to talk yourself into making the Super Bowl when you're in the same conference as Tom Brady or,
Mahomes.
Way back when Patrick Mahomes used to run the
Long
AFC.
time ago. Yeah.
Remember those days? But yeah, I mean, I will say at a certain point, the like path argument does lose its like, because every team is sitting there saying, look how easy the path is. Like every team, if you're Bo Nix or if you're a Broncos fan, you're like, I can't believe we had the 1 seed with Bo Nix. Like, it's going to be all home games, and look at who we have to play. And I'm guessing they're throwing CJ Stroud, and they like,
probably so.
We'll see.
They should. They should.
Yeah.
They absolutely should.
So I think. I think the path thing, like, sure, it's easier than in 2012 when they would have to play the Patriots and the eventual Super Bowl champion Ravens if they got to that point. Like we're so because there's really no other. Let's do this.
Okay.
Is it between this year and 2012?
I would say yes.
Okay, because 2011, I think maybe a better
if
team.
Schaub hadn't been hurt,
but Schaub
then
got hurt.
I would
Yes.
probably say 2011 was their best team.
Exactly. We're on the
But
same
Albert
page.
Haynesworth,
And then the Watson teams and the O'Brien teams.
Well,
no.
that's actually my nitpick to this, because Jeremy's side of this was that this year's their best path. Like, if you want to say going into the playoffs, before a playoff game is played.
Are you going to say the first quarter of the
yes.
Chiefs
like,
game?
if you want to get super technical and specific with what moment in time was the Texans' best chance to ever make a playoff or ever make a Super Bowl.
Yeah, divisional round.
You can't argue against. They were up 24-0 with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter, and had they held on to that, which basically every other team does in the history of football, well, outside of the Houston Oilers and Buffalo in 1983. God, man, wounds run deep. But basically, if you hold on to that lead, the Texans then host an AFC Championship game against the Titans and Ryan Tannehill. Like, you can't, to me, if we're able to, like, it's a different conversation, I think, if it's just when the playoffs started. But if it's like a moment in time, up 24-0, 10 minutes to go in the second quarter, winner gets to host the Titans to get to the Super Bowl. That is without a doubt the best chance they ever had, and then the Chiefs scored 51 points.
If you can do the
win probability, the Super Bowl probability
chart.
Yes,
it's
that's
like,
exactly
all the way up.
That was the highest Super Bowl probability
over
on the chart.
25 years of Texans football.
100%.
I agree with that. Again, the path thing, like, I feel like it's so, like, it's just so overused at this point where it's like, is this Josh Allen's best chance to win a Super Bowl? It's like, I don't know. His team's not as good as other Josh Allen teams. Like, there's going to be other Bills teams that are better than this one.
Right.
So just the fact that we don't think a lot about all these other teams, is it just that cut and dry of just like, is this Justin Herbert's best chance to win a Super Bowl? Is it Drake May's best chance to win a Super Bowl?
I wouldn't say, like, to take the question too seriously, I wouldn't say it's Herbert's because he's missing both his starting tackles.
Is it like you? But my
and
point
he's
is,
going to have to literally go on the road for every single.
Is it Trevor Lawrence's best chance to win a Super Bowl?
So far, yeah.
So far, yeah.
So far, definitely.
And in the future.
Man, I do
other
believe,
playoffs are going to have Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson.
Probably so. I do believe in Liam
So this
Cohen.
is the
I don't know
easiest
if I
Super
can
Bowl
say that
ever
yet.
for every AFC team,
other than the Chargers.
Yeah.
sorry, Cam.
That one probably,
you guys are the sacrificial
probably
baby.
2006 when they're up against the Patriots. Sorry, but if we're doing that, that's probably when.
So it's like it's not even like, I mean, because obviously there's a path you have to get to the Super Bowl, but it's just like, I see what you're saying. Like, the whole path thing's overrated. It's kind of like what we talked about in college football. The playing field is starting to kind of slowly like level out. That's kind of what we're seeing right now in these playoffs. Is like the AFC. There's no clear cut like
Lamar and Mahomes missing is the equivalent of the transfer portal in NIL.
Yeah, like there's no.
It's just that the odds, like if you're just to put a percentage on every team, it's just more flattened.
Yeah,
but
that's a good way to see it. Yeah.
But there's probably years where, like Josh Allen, for an example, like he's probably second place to the Chiefs, but he himself has a higher percentage of making the Super Bowl, or the Bills have a higher percentage of making the Super Bowl. That's why I'm just like, like no one thinks any of these quarterbacks are all that good, or if they are good, we're just kind of like begrudgingly like, yeah, they're good, but how good? Or they're Justin Herbert, who still has 0 playoff wins. Like, it's not like
I'm aware
he is good, but he also, if they had 2 healthy tackles, we wouldn't be like, oh man, you got Justin Herbert in these playoffs. So I just think that it's something where how many of these quarterbacks even have a playoff win?
Well,
Let's actually carry that over because we're up against the break, and that leads into the next thing I wanted to talk about, kind of tying the Texans' path into the rest of the playoffs. Which quarterbacks, more so in the AFC, but we'll include the NFC as well, but I think more so the AFC because of what you guys have talked about with just like few of them outside of Josh Allen are proven. But which quarterback needs a good playoff run the most to, I guess, answer the questions that surround his play and his resume so far? That when the bullpen returns on ESPN 97.5.
This is the Bullpen.
On ESPN 97.5 and the ESPN Houston app.
Live from the Huntington Bank Studios, here are the producers of ESPN 97.5.
Welcome back into the Bullpen, ESPN Radio 97.5 and 97.9 HD2. Brian McDonald, Sean Mapes, Cam Smith, and John Belmer with you here until 2 o'clock when Aggies basketball takes over our airwaves. Coming up at 1:30, we will have our Mount Rushmore +1. And next segment, we'll get into our big question. I'm going to go ahead and tease that now. We haven't done the big question in a while, but one of the things we will kick around, and this was inspired by Myles Garrett breaking the sack record in Week 18, which, let's be honest, it wasn't full Brett Favre, but Joe Burrow didn't fight very hard to get out of that sack.
I also don't think Joe Burrow wanted to get destroyed either.
Yeah, Week 17.
Yeah.
Week 8, yeah. I get it, but he didn't fight real hard to get out of the sack. Anyway, which players, great players, have had their careers wasted on bad teams? That is our big question, inspired by Myles Garrett breaking the sack record. We'll get into more of that in the next segment. But if you have your own submissions to that and players you think had their careers wasted, all-time greats, career wasted on bad teams, hit us up on the HRP listener line, 713-780-3776.
Calvin
Call or
Johnson.
text. Save it for the next segment, Cam.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, we can all sit here.
We can all name names. It's the next.
It's to get people
Jesus.
to text in.
There
You know what?
it is.
Cut
That starts
cut
it.
off his mic.
That
Cut
starts
off
it. That
yeah.
starts it.
He got the party started.
I was
There you
just
go.
teasing.
Yeah. Well, what a tease! Just say it out loud.
It was a 9 o'clock movie trailer
There
that
you go.
before the movie starts, as you would know.
I respect the way you're trying to relate this to
Yes.
me. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
You. Because of that, you're unbanned. All right. And also because you're part of the show. All right. So what we tease into this segment, which quarterbacks need a strong playoff run to best improve their perception and like just how you view their, I don't know, like their upward trajectory, their resume, whatever. Let's start with the AFC because I think that is a group that has more of question marks around them than the NFC group. Because I mean, obviously Hurts and Stafford have Super Bowl rings, but Sean, what quarterback would you say in the AFC most needs a big run to improve his perception?
Needs it. Probably Trevor Lawrence. I would go Trevor Lawrence. I think with Trevor, it's now people are like really starting to believe, not just like the draft, the residuals from the Clemson like run and believing the draft evaluation. I think a lot of that washed away, but now like with how he's playing in the NFL, people are starting to buy in a little bit more. And I think this would be, a good time to make a run and really actually firmly plant himself into that, top 5, top 10, like easily top 10, closer to 5 range of quarterbacks in the league. I don't really think the top 4 is going to change that much when we are doing that next July. Can't wait for when we're ranking quarterbacks.
You'll be off. Don't worry. You'll be
July
off.
and August.
You'll be taking that week off.
Still 5 weeks of
maybe so
of training camp talk that we're gonna do that.
But best.
But I think that Lawrence can really like turn some heads and start getting, I guess, praise for how he actually performs in the NFL, not just the prototype quarterback that he is.
Yeah, I think there's a couple names that I strike off the list immediately. Actually, 3. Like Rodgers, obviously, he's a Hall of Famer with a win, with a loss.
Literally nothing to prove.
There's nothing to prove. Although, I mean, I guess the second Super Bowl, which we obviously none of us think he's going to get, not just because he's facing the Texans, but Steelers aren't that good.
3 games behind
exactly.
that.
But if he did get a second Super Bowl, that would move him up a tier if you're talking all-time greats. But I there's really nothing to prove there.
I did the same thing. Maybe you're going to get to him.
Okay.
No offense. But with Justin Herbert, where I'm just
I struck Justin Herbert off just because
he doesn't need it. He would go up a lot.
He does need it, but it's just like he's the 7th seed. The 7th seed is not expected to go on a run. So I'm not going to crush.
But if he did win a Super Bowl, like
no, for sure, like he would gain a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone's going to crush him more than they already like. I don't think anything changes with a loss necessarily because they have the built-in excuse of the missing tackles. There are the 7th seed going on the road. So I don't include Justin Herbert in this conversation. I also don't include Drake May in this conversation because I think he's already kind of a made man right now. Now, if he goes out and is awful, then maybe some people say, but questions happen a little bit. Like, oh, your schedule was soft and now you face a good team.
I think you get first playoff game grace, though.
Yeah, see, I do too. Like, I don't think Drake May gets crushed with a loss.
If they win, if they make the divisional round and lose in the divisional, I don't think he gets crushed.
No,
I think the only way he gets crushed if he loses
to Herbert.
First game.
Yeah, in the Chargers. So that really takes the conversation to Trevor Lawrence, which you mentioned, Sean. I think he's probably the runaway winner. That's just because his stock had fallen so low, and he's got a lot of room to make up because of that. And then obviously Knicks, I think, has kind of the game manager tag on him. So does Stroud after 2 kind of mediocre years after the great rookie year. And then really it's, I guess it depends on how you look at it. But Josh Allen, I think, would take the most hit from not making a Super Bowl because what we talked about last segment with Mahomes and Lamar missing from the playoffs. So I guess it depends on how you want to frame the conversation. But I think Lawrence has the most to gain. I think Josh Allen has the most to lose.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where I'm at. I think so I guess for me, the top of the list is going to be Josh Allen because there's been so much hype around them the last 5 or 6 years. Every year they're good. Every year they get to the playoffs, and then they don't win the big game. Josh Allen, I think he's 0-4 on the road in the playoffs, and now he's about to go to Jacksonville. So, like, not only does he have to prove that he can win a playoff game on the road, but like you said, there's no more Baltimore, there's no more Kansas City. So, like, all those teams,
there's not even a Burrow in his path.
Yeah.
who knocked them out a few years ago.
So for me, it's got to be Allen. Like, if I'm a Buffalo fan, I'm thinking, okay, this is our best year to win a Super Bowl. So,
yeah. So getting back to Sean's point, though, from the last segment, like, their defense isn't good.
Yeah, if I'm a Bills fan,
they don't have a wide receiver crew.
If I'm a Bills fan, I'm like, I've seen 5 better Bills teams than this one.
Absolutely.
You know, like I've just seen much better football than.
Like,
I mean, yeah, talent-wise, but again, we're talking about, like, how we brought it up before, like the path. Like, if
the path has never been easier, but it's definitely not their best team.
Not their best team, but it's the same thing with the Texans. Not the best team, but it might be the easiest path that they've had. I feel like that's what it is for Josh Allen. And I think if they lose, to Jacksonville, I mean, I think there's going to be some grumblings in Buffalo.
I mean, that's the 2 quarterbacks that all 3 of us have really like pointed the finger at, and I think Brian and I are seeing it from the same way, where it's like Lawrence has. It depends on if you're viewing this as a positive or a negative of like who has most at stake. Well, Lawrence can gain the most. Josh can lose the most legacy points wise, and they play each other in the first round. So we will get some sort of, resolution to that, or some sort of, it's zero sum with those two in a way that it isn't for Stroud and Rodgers. Like we said, where it's like, if Stroud makes the divisional round again, okay. Well, like,
he
that's
just
cool.
kind of maintains where he's at.
It looks better on the graphic where it's like, first
never lost a wild card game.
Or just like first 3 years in the NFL, 3 playoff wins. Like,
right.
I'm sure you can have some sort
Not
of
since John Elway.
Well, probably Brady. I'll say probably Brady, but yes, where it's like there's some stat you can dig up where that looks like the most incredible. Like, he should be.
I mentioned John Elway
because
they did that stat. Literally did that stat for C.J. Stroud like a week ago, where he tied. I think he either tied or surpassed John Elway for most wins. It was so specific. It was most wins through the first 3 seasons by quarterback pick number 1 or number 2.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It was a lot of cherry picking to come up with this very specific stat that C.J. Stroud is, the same as an NFL Hall of Famer,
I also
2-time Super Bowl champion.
One quick thing, and like this is like an aside and can almost be its own segment, but I'll just do it now so you guys can't argue with me too much.
I respect the move.
Well played.
I respect the move.
You said this isn't one of the best Texans teams of all time. I actually kind of think it is one of the best Texans teams of all time.
I think it's their best defense.
I think it's top 3 easily.
Oh man, yeah, it is another segment.
It's another segment, but I think it's
I think it's
for
the
top
off
3 very easily.
That's a segment for the offseason when we have some more answers. Quickly before we go to break, we don't really have time to get into the NFC, but I'm curious because it kind of came up in the conversation there about the Bills and what if they lose. Is Sean McDermott out if the Bills lose to Jacksonville this week, Sean?
I don't think so, but
we kind of saw that play out on that Sunday Night Football. Like, someone made the graphic with the field goal. Like, if it goes down the middle, one coach fired. If it misses, the other coach fired.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like, I don't know, man. I could see ownership going like, man, no Mahomes, no Lamar, no Burrow, and you still didn't. And not only did you not get to a Super Bowl, but you're not even getting past the first round.
Yeah, one and done would be tough. One and done would be tough, especially with how flawed this team is built. So
one and done?
One and done?
This year.
Oh, okay. You're saying from the playoffs. The way you said that, I thought like you were saying Sean McDermott was one and done. Okay, I misheard.
No, he's been the coach for almost a decade.
That's why I was confused. Yes.
I think it would be a head coach and GM firing because we talked about how flawed this team. I mean, they have no receivers, they have no defense. Like, what is this team?
Yeah, the GM shouldn't be safe. You're absolutely right there. What do you expect from that, Cam?
From
if the Bills lose,
Oh yeah, I'm. If they lose this first game against Jacksonville, I would not be surprised at all if the head coach gets fired.
All right, big question coming up next to start off hour 2 of the bullpen. Brian McDonald, Sean Mapes, Cam Smith, and John Belmer. The question for that big question, of course, is what legendary all-time great player, and this is inspired by Myles Garrett breaking the sack record in Week 18, most had their career wasted being on a bad team? Text or call in your answers, 713-780-3776 for the HRMP listener line. This is the Bullpen. Be back in a few minutes. This indeed, the producers of ESPN Radio 97.5 FM and 97.9 HD2, Brian McDonald, Cam Smith, Sean Mapes, and John Belmer with you here for another hour leading up to Aggies basketball at 2 o'clock. Mount Rushmore plus one coming up at 1:30. Next segment, we will pick all the NFL playoff games, with one of them being against the spread because, I mean, there's no way to pick Rams-Panthers other than with the spread because it might be the easiest game I could think of that we've picked in a long time. But that all coming up. Right now, we carry over our big question of the day that Cam has already shouted out one of his answers for. I think a very good answer to it.
Thank you.
And that question was, which all-time great players, legendary players, inspired by Myles Garrett breaking the sack record last week, have had their careers wasted the most on just bad, terrible teams that didn't go anywhere? And if you want to weigh in with that, either call or text. So you can hit us up on the HRP listener line, 713-780-3776. So, Cam, you mentioned the first one. I think it's a great answer. It would be in my Mount Rushmore plus one if I were to limit it to just 5. But Calvin Johnson, certainly a name that comes to mind very quickly when you ask this question.
And instantly it was Calvin
literally
Johnson.
Could not stop yourself.
You literally could not stop yourself. Like,
it came in my head so fast.
Wow. Pause.
Oh, God.
Pause. Johnny Belmer, please pull that for future use.
Nope.
He is hiding his face in his hands. Cam Smith with the quote of the day. Wow. All right.
I need a drink.
Smoothly moving on before Cam embarrasses
Mike
himself
Trout.
further. We might need a moment.
Mike Trout.
Mike Trout is the other name. Yes. That
He's
was
literally played 3 playoff games, I think, in his entire career.
Yes, not playoff series.
No.
He's played. This is, I think, one of the craziest stats. And there's a player that's also on this list known for crazy stats. But it's insane that a player who was like undoubtedly like the best player of his decade, well, I guess that spans, but you know what I'm talking about, his generation until Shohei came around. But like Mike Trout was the one of one for like a 10-year period. His team made the playoffs one time, got swept, and that's been it for his entire career. Like Calvin Johnson's a great answer, but he at least made the playoffs in more than one season with Matthew Stafford. And I don't think they won a playoff game because I think Matthew Stafford was 0-3 in the playoffs as a Lions quarterback.
And
so.
when the Dan Campbell Lions won their first playoff game, it was the first time.
Yeah, I didn't think they won. I know they made it multiple times. Again, I think Stafford 0-3 with the Lions. But Mike Trout is a great answer. Calvin Johnson, great answer. The person I thought you might shout out, Cam, because he plays with the same team, and I think it's very similar in that they enter their career early instead of continuing to play and adding on to their stats. But Barry Sanders, Barry Sanders at least went to an NFC title game, so maybe you could say Calvin's was wasted more. Barry at least was one game away from a Super Bowl one time, and then the rest of his career was,
oiling,
basically dealing with nonsense and bad quarterbacks. But Barry Sanders, I mean, the guy walked away just because he had enough. I mean, he basically said no thanks to the rushing record because he was tired of playing for the Lions.
He played for a while, so he might have been on a few good Chicago teams, but Matt Forte.
Oh, see, he definitely was wasted, but I wouldn't think of him as an all-time great, so he didn't really come to mind for me in that one.
Okay, and this is another iffy one because he did have Tom Brady for that 1 year where they won a Super Bowl. But historically, Tampa Bay has been bad, and Mike Evans has been there for what?
He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Yeah.
That's if not for that, really 2 years of Tom Brady, because the third year they were one and done in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But without those 2 years of Tom Brady, like for sure, they would have wasted Mike Evans' career.
Yeah, Mike Evans is definitely veering on too successful for this.
I think he's too successful now. Like he would have been on this list had Tom Brady never become a Buccaneer,
or even just like the day after Brady retired. But like they've been around, they've been a decent team.
Yeah, and they went and they won a playoff game like 2 years ago, so it's a little hard to include them on
but
this.
He is one of those where it's like, again, surefire Hall of Famer. But if you tell like an average fan that, maybe now because he before this year had the 1,000-yard streak for so long.
Yeah.
But if like when Tom Brady signed with the Bucs, you're like, Tom Brady signed to play with a surefire Hall of Famer, Mike Evans, and it really doesn't matter that he won the Super Bowl.
I mean, heck, you could argue Andre Johnson because those
Johnson was on my list.
Yeah.
So was Arian Foster.
Yeah,
I wanted to wait
JJ.
before we get to the local angle, but yes.
Yes, and what John Belmer just mentioned also came in from 8446 on the text line, J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
Like, it really, it wasn't just the Texans. J.J.
Arizona.
Watt also got wasted by Arizona for 2 years.
Did they make the playoffs with Watt?
There was that year that Arizona started 7-0, like 3 seasons ago. I want to say...
I'll look it up.
Look it up. Like, I don't know. I thought the year that Arizona started off 7-0 was the year before Watt.
The first year was...
But even if it was with Watt, they made the playoffs and lost the first game. So it was still wasted. I mean, in to a level like Calvin Johnson, right? Like made the playoffs, but were one and done.
Yeah, they 2021 they went one and done.
Okay, there you go. So and then another text in from the text line 1602 says Dan Marino. Like it's a little tougher for me to make that. Like I hear what the texter's saying. It's a little tougher for me to make the argument though with a quarterback just because it's so much in their control. Comparatively to other positions.
Should have just put the laces out. Yeah.
Exactly. Laces out, Dan.
Yeah.
Einhorn knew.
Ray Finkel.
Well, Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel.
Spoiler alert.
Thank you for that.
Spoiler
alert. Movie from 1983.
I think because they made the Super Bowl in year 2.
And then he never went back. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a tough one. He might also be too successful, and like you said, there's so much in his control. Like
it's
with
tougher
Calvin
for
Johnson, with Andre Johnson, with these guys, with the defensive player, it is out of your hands. Like Myles Garrett, it's out. There's only so much you can do. Whereas a quarterback, like, I mean, you can do that. Like, Dan Marino did that.
Yeah, he did it once.
Yeah. So I do think that you're getting your career wasted is a little bit different than the Dan Marino story.
Okay, and true, Myles Garrett, Cleveland has been horrific. He chose to go back to Cleveland.
Sure.
He chose to sign a big contract and go back to a
trash
sign up
team. To have his career wasted.
Yeah.
But he still has had his career wasted.
Yeah.
I mean, same. Mike Trout's, the
same thing.
That's why Mike Trout was the first name I thought of, was just because it's so much like Myles Garrett, where basically since day one, it's like this guy is an amazing, like, on the all-time great track. Like, there wasn't really a minute in the NFL where you're like, Myles Garrett, not sure how this one's gonna play out. Same thing with Mike Trout, where I think it was in year 2, he either won the MVP or was second place.
There was like a
Miguel Cabrera, who had the Triple Crown.
There was like a 5-year, maybe 6-year period where he was first or second in MVP voting every year.
Yeah, so
it was insane.
Like with both those guys, it's just like they're good from day one, and they never had a team around them.
From 1602, another submission here, Karl Malone. Now, see,
what?
Two
finals,
3 finals, because he went to the Lakers, but he was a hanger-on with that one.
About that one.
But I don't know how you feel about this, guys, but I kind of I have a similar thought with, like, the best player in an NBA team that I do the quarterback on an NFL team. Like, it's kind of in your control. Like, I can't say your career was wasted, especially since we're in the playoffs every year. Like, to me, if I was going to make the argument for Karl Malone, it would be because he's leading the league in scoring each year, but they're missing the playoffs.
Yeah, I was trying to think of an NBA one. It for that reason, it is tough. Where all these guys, they at least have a run. Like
Tracy McGrady.
I was thinking McGrady.
Yeah,
McGrady
is a good one.
Carmelo Anthony was another one.
Oh, Carmelo Anthony, yeah, for sure. Another one from 6171 on the text line. This was one I had on my list. This is a shout out for Cam here, but LaDainian Tomlinson. Now, they at least got to an AFC title game when Phillip Rivers played on a torn ACL. But, like, there were so many years where the Chargers were like 12-4, and they get the bye and then come in and lose their first playoff game. Not to dig up old painful memories for Cam here, but LaDainian Tomlinson certainly feels like a player. Like, he is unquestionably the best running back of his generation, and it counted for 0 Super Bowls and 1 AFC title game.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tricky one because he played on a lot of good Charger teams.
They were good, but never great.
They were good, but never. I mean, they obviously they could never make it to the Super Bowl. So I mean, in regards of like playoff victories and Super Bowl stuff, yeah, you could argue that like LT had his career wasted, but he was still on. He was still on really good like Charger.
It's definitely
teams. Lower
down on the tier. Like if we were to rank the guys we've named so far, he definitely isn't as high.
Back to the Karl Malone thing, I can't get on board with that because they damn near made the playoffs every year.
Yeah,
like
no,
that's not a bad team.
I wouldn't say his career was wasted.
Yeah,
he made 3 finals.
Yeah, and who cares? Karl Malone sucks anyways. Screw him.
I was wondering
good.
Not a great person.
If Brian was going to bring up like Utah Jazz are disqualified because
they suck.
I don't feel bad for him.
After the Jazz, yeah, I'm
John
100%
Stockton,
with that.
Career wasted.
Greg Ostertag, career wasted. Get out of here.
Andre Kirilenko.
Well, later on, but yes. Another one from the text line 0861 Rocky text in. And this is another one from my list. So me and the listeners, simpatico, but King Griffey Jr. Now they did
my favorite player of all time.
Dude, he was so good.
Oh.
His swing was baseball porn. But they don't turn your head away from me, Sean. I'm not making this uncomfortable. You're making this uncomfortable.
The only
it's
baseball.
more the like,
King Griffey Jr.
The only baseball gear that I have that's not Astros is strictly
really?
King Griffey.
Yeah, I love King Griffey, man. But they did make a couple playoff appearances with the Mariners, I believe. But then once he went to the Reds and White Sox at the end of his career, like they had no chance. And then he started to get injured at that point.
Because he was on some good teams with like Ichiro and Edgar Martinez. Like Seattle at one point with him, I think they won like 118 games in one year. Like
Ichiro's rookie year 2001, they did. I thought Griffey had left by then. I could be wrong on that.
I could have sworn they played like 1 or 2 years.
Griffey definitely made the playoffs with. He was on the same team as Randy Johnson and Alex Rodriguez. They made the playoffs, but didn't get to even a World Series with them. Yeah, Jay Buhner. Yeah, look at you. All right. I like that. Any other names come to mind for you guys?
Roy Oswalt.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not bad. I hadn't thought
I
about
was-
that.
the-
Would you
Okay.
put Berkman into that also?
Yeah.
I was thinking, and this is one where I'm stretching this is me digging through the history books, but Nolan Ryan.
Sure. It's a little tougher to say because he
won one.
Well, he played for 4 teams and he does have a ring.
Angels,
one
Mets,
super
Rangers,
early.
Astros.
Yeah, he was a hanger-on for that one.
Yeah,
because
but
he was so young.
when
but
he was
he wasn't
Nolan F. and Ryan.
Yeah, he wasn't Nolan F. and Ryan. Yet,
Yeah.
yeah. Another one from the text line, also on my list. I like where you guys are thinking, but 6575 text in. It really feels like this kind of becomes a Browns question at some point. But Joe Thomas, like one of the greatest offensive linemen of his generation.
It's a good call.
But a guy that played with, I don't know if you ever guys have seen this video, but there was a video where they asked him, like, hey, can you name all the quarterbacks you protected? And I think he eventually got all the names, but there's a few where he was like he had to pause and like think for a while. They just put, I mean, we've all seen
The jersey with the tape, yeah.
Yeah, and
that's what Joe Thomas had
Yeah.
to deal with for his entire. The dude was a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he played with absolutely nothing at quarterback.
yeah. I mean, the jersey. It's not like a perfect 1-to-1 because I think the jersey starts when they
got back.
Yeah, and he was what, like 07 draft somewhere in
something
there.
Like, something like that.
So yeah, like it picks up with Kelly Holcomb or whoever.
It starts with Tim Couch, but Joe Thomas
I
not
mean,
in the league yet.
I know this is probably a stretch, but in the short time that he was in the league, he was phenomenal for many years. Chris Johnson with the Titans.
Yeah. Also, then went to the kind of like J.J. Watt went to the Cardinals and continued to have his career wasted. One more name that was on my list that hasn't been mentioned yet, but Tony Gwynn. Like the Padres did go to one World Series in '98, but got swept by the Yankees. And other than that, the Padres were a pretty bad team.
That's what I was trying to look
one
at
of the
teams.
best, like the best 3 hitters, like pure hitters of all time.
Yeah, because I was trying to just go through historically bad teams. Like, all right, who played for the Oakland A's for a really long time? Because obviously, your career was wasted.
yeah, and with some of those, especially with the A's, Marlins, those kind of teams. Well, it's a lot. It's like, well,
they would win a World Series and then just sell everybody off.
Or it's like Giancarlo Stanton, well, he got the hell out of there. They all got the hell out of there before. Before they got their career fully
I believe Christian Yelich also started with
Yelich
the
was on. Yeah, Yelich was on one of those teams. They had another.
I wish Mike Trout would have, booked it from L.A. and we could have had some more playoff moments with him. That one's the saddest one to me.
You see it. I mean, you see. We mentioned Ohtani when obviously he kind of changed the paradigm when he came in. It's like, oh, this is kind of the guy now. It's a little bit like Toy Story, where it's like we kind of dropped Mike Trout and it's like we have Buzz Lightyear now, and it's
perfect comparison.
And Shohei Ohtani, and he was on that. If we do this show 2
Until
years
he
ago,
left.
if we do
Until
this
he
show
left.
2 years ago, he's on this list. Like for maybe before Mike Trout, we come up with Ohtani.
That is the weirdest part of this because, to my knowledge, like we talked about Myles Garrett and Mike Trout, who might be 1 and 2 on this list, and it's not like the NBA where, okay, you can leave, but you're going to sacrifice like $50 million because you lose that extra year or whatever, like from the super max or whatever. Like, to my knowledge, that same rule doesn't apply for Major League Baseball or the NFL. Like, the real lesson from this is for the Mike Trouts and the Myles Garrett's. Like, why would you stay? Like if Myles Garrett, when he requested a trade, hadn't backed down, he's still getting, I mean, I would say at least 95 cents on the dollar. Yeah. 90 cents on the dollar, and you go win a ring.
Might be playing for the Packers right
now. Might
be
playing for the Packers. Yeah, exactly.
Because the reason I say Packers because they eventually did make a giant trade to pay a DN this year and Micah Parsons. So they might have just made that trade.
And same thing with Mike Trout. Like Mike Trout, I can't remember what his contract was, but like you're telling me if he forces his hand with the Angels or just leaves when his.
I was gonna say he signed like a 12-year deal in I want to say like 2018 or 19 range. So like he had he had the out and he loyalty. This segment's really about loyalty and why
about why it's stupid.
You should not
never do it.
Actually, let's go back to talking about the transfer portal and how awesome it is. It's great.
Loyalty is stupid.
Get out of there. Transfer to LSU.
All right, we're gonna pick all the NFL playoff games coming up this weekend next when the Bullpen returns. ESPN Radio 97.9 and 97.9 HD2 and 97.5 FM. Saved it. Boom.
This is the Bullpen
on ESPN 97.5 and the ESPN Houston app.
Live from the Huntington Bank Studios, here are the producers of ESPN 97.5.
Welcome back into the Bullpen on ESPN Radio 97.5 FM and 97.9 HD2. Here with you until 2 o'clock. Brian McDonald, Sean Mapes, Cam Smith, and John Belmer leading you up to Aggies basketball. Mount Rushmore +1 coming up next segment. A few texts to get through before we get to our picks here on great players who had their careers wasted on bad teams. From 2650 mentions Frank Thomas, which I think a pretty good submission there. Kind of the other conference equivalent of Jeff Bagwell. If you like, when none of us mentioned Bagwell, I mean, we can
Jim Tomey.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to say Bagwell got wasted because they made the playoffs so much and they flamed out.
That's why
it's kind of on you.
I thought Bagwell and Biggio a lot too.
I looked up the list to see if I was missing anyone, and so one of the lists did put Biggio on them, but I was like,
But that's like, it's
I don't know, like he kind of wasted his own career.
Yeah, it wasn't bad teams. They wasted being on good opportunities on good teams.
Ran up against Braves.
I was gonna say they're always like the third best team in the National League.
They had to face Kevin Brown twice in a series in '98, and then the other 3 times they ran into the Braves pitching. Yeah. One more text here. Another texter mentioned Joe Thomas, but we've already mentioned him multiple times. And then Johnny in the break mentioned Damian Lillard, which so did 2239. He texted in Damian Lillard. And the second one I don't agree with on the basis I don't think he's an all-time great, but Bradley Beal. Like Bradley Beal was wasted on the Wizards before he eventually got the trade to the Suns, and that didn't work out either.
Yeah,
I don't think he was good enough to really qualify for the list.
Speaking of who wants to waste their career, Trae Young.
Yeah, well, I think career already wasted.
Yeah. That's the thing where it's like it turns into a different list of like Zion Williamson.
Yeah,
it's wasting his career.
Yeah, it's
all time great. Those are like all time great talents that get wasted. You know, like Derrick Rose. I thought Derrick Rose. I was like, well, he just got hurt a bunch and was a lesser guy.
Yeah, it's a different. It's more of a what could have been conversation than career got wasted because they're on a terrible team that didn't support them. All right, let's get to our NFL picks. Picking every game from Wild Card Weekend. Cam, why don't you update us with the standings, and then we'll get into the picks.
Be happy to. So, BMAC.
You say that because you're in first.
Yep.
Although I'm close.
You are.
I could catch you this weekend.
You're making me a little nervous. I'm trying to take this home. So BMAC is sitting at 35-25. I am at 38-22. Belmer is at 25-30. Sean is tiptoeing at that 500 at 28-27, and then Joe is back over 500 at 15-10.
I have to say quickly before we go, John Belmer started off like 0-12.
Yeah.
The fact that he's only the fact that he's only 5 games below 500 right now means he's been on fire. Yeah. So you know what? Good job, John Belmer. You have turned it around. Your picks have been pretty solid. Actually, better than solid over these last couple months. All right, what's our first game, Cam?
Peaking at the right time.
That's right.
Houston versus Pittsburgh.
Houston is my answer.
Mine as well.
It's football time in Houston, folks.
Damn right. Ready to play.
We're ready to play.
Yeah, there's no question. Taking the Texans.
Yeah, suck at Pittsburgh. All right, what's next?
Chargers versus the Patriots.
Oh, should Cam pick last or first?
Doesn't matter. My answer's not going to change. Chargers.
Patriots.
Patriots.
I wasn't falling for that one.
Pump fake.
That didn't work.
I think the Patriots probably win this game, but I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
Whoa!
I'm gonna say rookie in his first playoff game has some issues.
Okay. You got a friend.
An ally.
You've got a friend in me.
All right, what's up next?
Buffalo versus Jacksonville.
Oh. This is where the first one where I'm actually having to spend like mental capacity thinking about
here.
I'll good thing the game's tomorrow, so you can go back and forth.
Yeah. Sean, you want to go first?
Yeah, I was gonna buy you a little time and go game of the week.
Yeah, I think so.
Game you're most interested in watching?
Yeah, the game I'm most excited to watch. Either that or Philly, San Francisco.
Really?
I think
Philly plays terrible football.
Yeah, they do.
I'm like, on the definition of the question, I'm not excited to watch the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, yeah.
Ever.
If it was a most competitive, maybe the Philly, San Francisco one's there, but it might just be terrible football.
I don't want to watch that.
Although San Francisco's defense is so bad that they might make Philly look good.
Jaguars.
That was enough time for me to say Jaguars also.
Okay.
Belmer. Oh, apologies. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna go Buffalo. I'm gonna see if Josh can get his first road win.
Yeah, simpatico.
Are you guys still in simpatico?
I want to see Jags lose. I'll take Buffalo.
Oh, all right. Little
split down the middle.
Little Cam Smith, John Belmer tag team here. Yeah. All right, so that leaves Broncos hosting. Nope, Broncos are on a bye.
That leaves Green Bay versus Chicago.
Green Bay versus Chicago. I'll pick the home team here. Give me the Bears.
I'm also rolling with the Bears.
I don't believe in Jordan Love in that offense.
Yeah. I really wish it was Malik Willis this week. No. Give me the Bears. Give me the Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah, I think the Bears are in it too. But this is, I think, the funnest game. What I'm most excited to watch.
This was the runner.
I think they're projecting snow for this game, so at least for me that adds.
Division rivals, it should be a good one.
It's coin flip.
Next, we have San Francisco versus Philadelphia.
Do I have to watch this game? This is my first question.
No.
Okay, because Philly might bore us, as Sean said. Man, this is boring, but I'll pick the Eagles. They're at home. Their defense is good. I don't trust the Niners' defense. Give me the Eagles.
Yep, agree.
I'm going to go San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm also going San Francisco.
What is going on here? What is going on here?
I just want to see the Niners play in their home stadium for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple times now, though. I'm kind of over that. Like, the Bucks kind of broke through with that a few years ago. All right, what's left here?
Left, and this is the spread. We have
That's the only game left?
That's what's listed on here.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I'm double checking. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Rams.
It feels like we got through that fast, but
Rams versus the Panthers.
Spread is 10.5.
10.5.
Oh man,
yikes!
That's. I had to make this game the spread just because, there's no fun in picking this game without a spread involved. I will say the Rams cover. Give me Rams minus 10.5.
Yeah,
it's not enough to me.
Give me the Panthers.
Oh, look at that.
10.5? Give me the Panthers.
Yeah, that's a lot.
The half made the difference. They win by 10.
These guys get paid too. Come on.
You
sure?
Breaking out all the cliches. Did I hear you say you're picking the Rams?
I am. I just want to make sure before I type in, you're sure with Carolina.
Carolina Panthers. Hey, did these teams play in the regular season at all?
They did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
How'd
they
that
did.
game go, Brian?
Oh, boy.
Panthers won.
Oh, okay. But where was that game played?
In Carolina.
Oh, and this one, obviously, because the Rams are so much better, it's in...
It's in Carolina also.
What?
I know.
Yeah, Sean just laid out everything that was thinking about in my mind.
They
yeah,
just
I'm
need
going
to be
Carolina.
10 points worse than they were
Sean Mapes
3 weeks ago.
Sean Mapes bleeds Carolina blue. John Belmer, what's your
pounding.
pick?
I'm going with Carolina.
All right, we're split on that.
We're split.
You guys disagree for the first time.
Yes, we have today.
I don't know how to handle
My
that.
heart breaks.
I'll handle that by going to break right now, because on the other side of the break, it's time for Mount Rushmore plus one. Don't go anywhere. ESPN Radio 97.5. We'll have to have Michael Carroll fix that one. I forgot to mention it to him. That is not on John Belmer. Really, it's not on me either. It's really on Michael Carroll. But I forgot to mention that to Michael during the week. He saved over the Mount Rushmore plus one open with one of the Tom's Watch part open. So, whatever. It is now time for the best part of your weekend, Houston. It feels weird to say that without the bet underneath. But it's time for Mount Rushmore plus one, the game-changing, award-winning segment that has forever changed the landscape of sports radio. And will get us, the four of us, plus a host of others, Andrew Carlson, Josh Chavans, AJ Russ, too many to name.
Yeah.
Probably 5 or 6 more that I'm forgetting off the top of my head.
Not
Especially not Michael Carroll.
And one mistake isn't going to keep him.
But it'll get us into the Texas Radio Hall of Fame in far less than the 27 years it took those bums, John Lance, to get there. With that being said, it is now time for Mount Rushmore plus one. Does anybody, well, not Mapes, obviously, but does anyone want to go first? Cam?
No.
Sean? No? Okay, I will go first. That's fine. So my Mount Rushmore plus one is on... You remember Kirk Cinetti said the famous phrase, "I win, Google me"?
Yeah.
This is a list of players who should not say Google me, because what might come up, not great for them, okay?
Is there a former USC running back that's on this?
O.J. Simpson? Well, he's not. You can't say it, he's dead. So,
okay.
so I excluded dead athletes, yes. Excluded
Don't
dead.
Google me. Whatever.
Now, I've got a list of like 12, and I could have kept going. I might do this for a month.
Yeah,
but
part to it.
We'll start locally here for this first rendition of players who should not say Google me. Jalen Green. Now look, now what he did in the comfort of a room with other teammates is his own business. I'm just saying, a video's out there, and you should not Google Jalen Green, Josh Christopher has fun with teammates in a bed doing certain things. I'm just saying, don't Google that.
I mean, you probably shouldn't even just look up Josh Christopher, honestly. I was going to say Jalen Green and Josh Christopher. I think just look at Josh Christopher might actually be the pick on this.
That might be the pick of the two.
Jalen Green, at least his stats will pop up.
So next on my list, going back a little bit with a few of these, but Najee Davenport. I don't know if you guys know this story, but he was a running back for the Packers in the 90s, and he once snuck into a dorm room of a lady he used to date. She opened the closet door where he had snuck into, and she found the man, again, a former NFL player, pooping in her laundry basket in her dorm room. So, again, don't Google Najee Davenport poops in laundry basket in a dorm room. Don't Google that.
Well, you described it well enough. I don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. So another name you should not Google or tell athletes should not say Google me. Eugene Robinson. Why does that name sound familiar? Because the day before the Super Bowl, he solicited a prostitute.
Oh, this guy's the NFL Man of the Year.
I believe the proper terminology these days is escort.
Sex worker.
Sure.
You were going to say S worker?
Escort.
Oh, escort? I thought you were going to say sex worker. Okay. What's more politically correct?
Or Madam of the Evening.
Yeah.
Madam of the Evening. That's what we'll go with.
Some company.
That's
the night before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, friendly company.
Yeah.
Yes. So Eugene Robinson should not say Google me. Another person who should not say Google me, we're going to go to coaches now for one, and that is Joe Cullen, who used to be a defensive line coach for the Lions, who was found naked and passed out in the Wendy's drive-thru.
I mean,
in his car, or just like
in his car. Yeah, he was naked in his car in the Wendy's drive-thru, like at 2 a.m, hammered drunk and passed out.
Who hasn't?
Sean's like, I did that at Taco Bell last week.
Actually, there are more Taco Bell stories than you would imagine. They'll be on future episodes. So
I'm not surprised.
Just a warning to Sean May, so I know loves himself.
Taco Bell's like the Florida incidents that happen at fast food.
I feel like Waffle House is.
Yeah,
Waffle House isn't fast food.
It's not fast.
Okay. That's fine dining.
You got you on a technicality.
It's not fine.
Yeah.
But
number
you get
one,
a meal and a show.
Number one on this version of athletes who should not say Google me, Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Brett Favre, for multiple reasons, for some things he did in Mississippi with taking people's money, and also for pictures he sent to attractive women he saw on Florida State sidelines.
Yeah, I think in general, if you have pictures that you've sent to attractive women on Florida State sidelines, I think if those pictures are out, don't say Google me.
Unless it's impressive like Greg Oden. Like Greg Oden might be able to still say Google me because like hey, I got something to show. Brett Favre, wasn't impressive.
All right. Good to know.
All right, Cam, no transition here.
Not Googling him.
I said don't Google Brett Favre.
Definitely not. Okay.
Since picked a Florida State alum.
So mine stems from I went out the other evening.
Wendy's?
With it.
Drive-thru?
Were you drunk?
Passed out?
Who woke you up?
I did.
Naked?
No, what? I woke up at home in my bed.
Did you wake up before or after you ate the Junior Bacon Cheeseburger?
I haven't been to Wendy's in like 5 years, so I don't sorry.
What are you doing with your life?
Wendy's and Burger King to me are like the worst fast food. Jack in the Box.
Disrespectful to women.
Continue, but
I say disrespectful to women.
I'm putting an asterisk on
yes,
this conversation.
to all women. And to Dave Thomas, a great man.
And to Square Hamburgers.
Oh boy, that's funny. No, so no, I went out with this young lady, and tonight we have another evening planned, and we're doing something different.
Why
so
are you saying it like this?
I'm leading up to, so basically it's like different, it's like date ideas that aren't your like typical like go to the bar, go to a restaurant.
I was just worried. You're describing this in a very similar way that Brian was describing Eugene Robinson.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank
God,
you.
not at all. Please, no correlation.
So is this a Madam of the Evening that you'll be paying?
No.
The only thing he's paying for is this date idea.
Well, hopefully dinner too.
We might have dinner. Yeah, I don't know. So
Cam just might skip ahead.
Speaking of dinner, though, cooking class.
Okay, I've actually done that with my wife.
Have you?
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet, but I've always wanted to do
I think it was Sur La Table. I don't know how to.
That name
pronounce
sounds
it.
kind of familiar.
Yeah,
I think I saw it on
we
like
went
Yelp.
and made pasta and stuff. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
See, that's cool because you're doing something together. It's different. One of you might know how to cook, the other one doesn't, so you can help each other with that. So cooking class. This is a little bit of a throwback, but they're starting to bring this back a little bit more. But drive-in movie. Like, I know movie is kind of like a simple idea if you do it at home, but if you go to like the drive-through, it comes through the speakers.
It is funny that drive-in movie theater basic idea. Drive-in movie theater. Oh, some thought got put into
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Elevated.
I can barely see this movie.
It sounds way worse.
Yeah, but you're not. If you're going to a drive-in movie, you're not watching the movie.
That's why this is on
Yeah, I
Cam's
am.
list. We know.
There's a back seat for a reason.
Wow.
Well,
Oh, okay.
there's a backseat,
Okay.
regardless
Cam
of a
is far
drive-in.
more wholesome to have those ideas,
Yeah.
John.
Watch the sunset on the beach.
God, you're so old.
Why?
Continue.
It's the end of a Cialis commercial.
Yeah.
What?
What are you going to say next? It's separate bathtubs?
Go grab some food. Go
Nothing
go
is
take
Were
a
you,
trip
were you
to the
gonna
beach.
stand outside and throw a football through a swinging tire?
Little train place. Yeah.
I am not that old. Fine, whatever.
How blue is that little pill?
What?
And fellas, she'll like it too. Shout to Frank Thomas.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't have his career wasted.
All-time great.
He's still hitting it out of the ballpark. You know what I'm saying?
Great.
Oh my god.
Cam, you got 2 left, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little scenic day trip to like a small town.
Okay.
You know,
Sure.
some of those small towns have like, you know, little antique shops, little restaurants that you can go hit up, something a little different. And then in honor of tonight, Lowrider show.
Is that where you're going tonight?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Sure am.
Okay.
I have questions, but maybe we should move on to John Belmer.
We should.
Okay. John Belmer, what is your Mount Rushmore plus one?
Sure. So I was watching, some YouTube Texans content, and I heard one of the online guys say something that I thought was interesting. The Texans hype video. Did anybody take a look at that?
The one with Watt? Yeah.
Yeah, with J.J. Watt. And I kind of agree with him. Why is J.J. Watt doing the hype video? There's zero chance that he wants the Texans to win the game on Monday night. His brother plays for the Steelers.
I mean, he did say "we" during a broadcast.
But his brother plays for the Steelers.
Yeah, I know.
T.J. Watt.
Yeah, there's no question. He doesn't. I'm thinking maybe they shot it before and just kind of worked out this way. But
they didn't know who they were playing.
But come on, I mean, he clearly wants his brother to win. So this is just kind of a thrown together Mount Rushmore plus one of other people that would have been better for this specific hype video here for the Texans, rather than a guy whose brother's playing for the other team, even though he's a Houston legend. Number 5, Booker T again, but this time with The Undertaker, because last year's was a hell of a promo. I don't know if y'all remember last year's with Booker T. It was great. Number 4 on my list, the newest Houston resident, Tatsuya Amai. Just throw him in there.
It's gonna be a short video.
He doesn't even know what he's rooting for. But him at the Texans game, throwing up the H's and then cheering on the court side with Kevin Durant's 3. Yeah. He's putting himself in this city pretty well here. Number 3, I put D'Amico Ryans. Like, D'Amico Ryans is this team's hype guy. He was the.
I don't know if you'd want to though.
I mean, you don't want to. I don't think you want to pull a lot of the big players away from the game this week for this.
That's
but
why I also don't think you want to do the coach.
Yeah,
but D'Amico, no, but you have your offensive coach, you have your defensive coach, you got all the other coaches. D'Amico to me is the hype guy, the culture change.
It is one of those things where it's like this probably takes an afternoon. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's not like the worst thing in the world.
Exactly.
I mean, hell, just put him on camera, have him say "swarm," and then the rest could be narrator.
And you're done. Yeah. Number 2 was Megan Thee Stallion, just for the optics of the video.
I was gonna say the optics. Yeah, you know exactly where you're going with this one.
What are the optics?
I don't know. You can use your imagination.
What John's eyes go to?
The memory I have of what she was wearing at the first pitch.
First pitch. Yeah, a recreation of the first
show
pitch. There you
that
go.
you're interested in?
Yeah.
Perhaps you could take her to a lowrider show, Cam.
Megan Thee Stallion?
Yeah.
Sure, if she wants to.
Number one, Joshua Van, current UFC champion from Houston. Just put some championship blood in there. You know what I mean?
I see what you did. Blood, UFC. I see what you did there,
yeah.
Johnny.
I didn't think about it, but yeah.
I was thinking Brian Cushing was going to make an appearance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Brian
well,
Cushing wouldn't be bad.
the steroid stuff, you know.
Wow.
So, who cares?
Besmirch the name of the great Brian Cushing.
A little bit.
All right, clean us up here, Mapes. Go ahead and main event this thing.
My Mount Rushmore +1 this week is of dumb things that make me believe in a player just a little bit less.
Could you say you lost all respect for them in this case?
No, it's more just like I mentally downgrade them as a player just a little bit when they commit one of these offenses.
Okay.
First one. This is coming from watching a season full of college football. The eye black usage.
Oh.
How you're deploying your eye black.
Is this a 9 thing?
Says a lot to me about you and your character. All right? It says a lot about
if you're wearing, take it and smear it all the way down the cheek.
Or the where it's not smeared, but it goes down the cheek like you're in Kiss. That also I don't like.
Yes.
Wearing eye black in a dome. I'm also like, what are we doing?
Yeah. It's a very J.J. McCarthy thing.
Yes. Well, just wait.
Okay.
Having a weird voice. This is dumb, but just like a voice that like you don't expect to come out.
Is this a Patrick Mahomes thing?
Not really. I mean, he overcame that for sure. There's also like, if you ever heard like Evan Turner speak, he has a weird voice. I don't know. There's just like, it's not an accent. It's more just like specifically how your voice sounds.
Like a Mike Tyson thing.
Yeah. Carl Anthony Towns. That kind of like,
Carl Anthony Towns is a good one.
This next one, Bear Bachmeyer.
Yeah, just because he wears a linebacker number playing quarterback.
Because he wears that. Also, Bear, not a huge fan of that. But I don't want to say because of your name as one of these.
So what about his brother Tiger?
Tiger, I don't love that either. I think especially at quarterback. I think other positions I can have a Bear. I can have if
like a linebacker. How do you say linebacker? I think that's an asset to him.
It's awesome. Quarterback 47.
Give me a good name like John or Michael. That's what you're saying.
We're both John Michael
or Fernando.
Or Fernando. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Sean.
Yes, and okay, this next one got 2 more. This one, I'm interested in what Cam thinks about this. Going from 0 tattoos to a ton of them over a very short amount of time.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I just am like, I have some questions.
What happened in your life?
It also speaks to like, so you got money for the first time in your life, and the first thing that you wanted to do was spend thousands of it on your arms.
Yeah, there is definitely a question that goes there.
JJ Redick, a perpetrator of this when he was a Clipper, going from no tattoos at all to a full sleeve in an off season. Cam, your thought as a tattooed person?
Yes, I can attest to that because I had 5. I think I got my first tattoo when I was 20, and I only had like 5 by the time I hit 25 or 26. But then I went to a tattoo artist who was doing it out of his house, so I didn't have to pay expensive shop fees.
Right.
So that's when I went from 5 to 44.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's good. That's good for you. That kind of decision making just does not lead me to believing that you would be a great quarterback.
Thank you. That's why I never played quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
The only reason. The only reason.
And last one, like I did with Bear Bachmeyer, kind of all of it. JJ McCarthy, kind of all
just
of it.
all of it,
just
the whole thing.
Eye black. He commits
the 9, the stupid face,
giving yourself a nickname, the face, trying to like self like mythologize as you're playing. Like where I'm like,
I turn into 9.
Wait until you retire and you can make The Last Dance and like really like build a monument to yourself. Like, don't do it between your second and third start in the NFL.
Creating like an alter ego wrestling character for yourself that transforms your game doesn't work if your game isn't good.
No.
It's like,
Kobe,
let's wait till your game is good. Like Mamba. Yeah.
He waited until he had 3 championships to drop Black Mamba.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
You got to have some
pelts on the wall.
Yes, exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. All right. One more segment to go. When we get back, we'll talk about the worst people in sports this week and what we love from sports this week, leading up to the Aggies basketball game at 2 o'clock. Bullpen will return in a couple minutes.
This is the Bullpen.
On ESPN 97.5 and the ESPN Houston app.
Live from the Huntington Bank Studios, here are the producers of ESPN 97.5.
Welcome back in to the Bullpen final segment today. Back next week. Sean, Cam, myself, Brian, and John Belmer behind the glass. We finish off the way we always do today, leading into Aggies basketball at the top of the hour. But with our worst people in sports today, or this week, and what we love from sports this week. My worst person in sports this week is Al Michaels deciding to return for another season of Thursday Night Football and telling us he's still at the top of his game. You are not, and I wish a different voice. Look, all due respect, one of the greatest of all time. Put him up on Mount Rushmore. But you're in your 80s. You're not at the top of your game, even though you said you are, and you should not be the voice of Thursday Night Football.
I think a man has the right to earn a living.
Go out in the shield.
Earn a living however he needs to feed his family, all right? So
I was going to say something really mean, but I will pass. Instead, Cam, who's your worst person in sports?
I'm not going to say it's more of a worst thing. I just feel bad for Anthony Davis. I mean, just another brutal injury, probably going to have surgery, miss another 2 or 3 months. I really like Anthony Davis. Dude can't stay healthy.
On the cusp of getting traded.
Yeah, he was about to be traded, yeah. Sean, your worst person?
Lane Kiffin for...
that's a name we should put up in the rafters of worst
next
person.
to Paul Pierce?
Yeah, next to Paul Pierce. But that was really just a Josh Evans thing. But.
For pretending like he wasn't happy that Ole Miss lost.
Oh, he was totally happy.
Just him still trying to fake support the team. I get it, dude, but come on. No one's buying it. J.J. Watt not rooting for the Texans secretly, despite doing the hype video. Lane Kiffin, despite whatever he tweets, was not rooting for Trinidad Chambliss whatsoever.
Do you think, true or false, he did a an really oversold fist pump when Carson Beck scooted into the end zone?
I think he did a excited and then he did caught himself like a.
Yeah, it had feign. Yeah, he had to feign
the Drake reaction.
They almost had it. Damn. All the humanity. Yeah, one of those deals. All right, couple minutes left in the show. That means it's time to stop swimming with the English Sharks. Instead, we will doggy paddle over to the Sea of Tranquility. Great sound effects there, Cam.
That freaked me out. I was like, where did that come from?
Can you do that again on command? That was
I don't know if that even.
All right, we are in the Sea of Tranquility. I don't know if anyone on radio actually heard that, but that was well done, Cam. So let's talk about what we love from sports. Sweet Cam, you get the first honor since you gave us those amazing sound effects.
Thank you. This name was brought up earlier, but I'm going to go the Astros pitcher, Tatsuya Ime, for coming to Houston and immediately
throwing up the H. Going to a Texans game.
Already grasping the H-Town culture.
Great coaching. You think whoever taught him how to throw.
You think he's been to Whataburger yet? Can we fully get him involved in the Houston culture? What has he been to HEB?
I think he's filmed an HEB commercial. Just
maybe so.
Just have him do it all.
Just have him do it all. First day. All right.
They sell sushi at HEB. He can. There's a bit there where he's showing those guys sushi or something.
And highly offended by what is put in front of him. Probably. This is what you call sushi.
San Antonio roll. No, we don't have those. Thing I love from sports this week: John Cena. Recently retired WWE superstar. You can't see him anymore.
He tapped out
You can see him in movies.
You can't see him in movies.
I saw him in Peacemaker,
He took time to shout out a Tampa area Honda dealership because he, and this is reading from his tweet, took the Civic Type R in for service and was fortunate enough to pick up a brand new Honda Prelude. Thank you, WC Honda, for helping add this boost beauty to the Honda lineup. Time to see what this thing can do. Several exclamation points. And here's
is there a hashtag ad in there somewhere?
Nope. It's just a picture of him at a Honda dealership shaking hands with a Honda dealer while holding up keys to a Honda Prelude.
I don't know what's weird sort of Honda days reality we're trapped in, but let's move on. The thing I love from sports this week, wow, I was not expecting that, was this comment after the game, after Indiana crushed Oregon, from their head coach, Curt Cignetti.
Coach, I know you're thinking about the next game, but when will you stop and appreciate how special and how historic all of this has been?
I'm really not thinking about the next game. I'm thinking about cracking open a beer.
Oh, hell yeah! And I'm thinking about cracking some goals when the Texans invade Pittsburgh and taking on those Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm talking about Will Anderson Jr. I'm talking about Danielle Hunter stopping a mud hole in Aaron Rideout. Hey, if you think C.J. Stroud's going to throw for 300 yards, give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
If you think Woody Marsh will run for 100 yards, give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
If you think Will Anderson's getting home for 2 sacks, give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's right. Texas going to Pittsburgh. Take that victory Monday night. We're out of here. Aggies basketball up next. See ya.
And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.